Hi guys, in today's video I'm going to show you how to go from this to this and by retouching the football render in Adobe Photoshop. So without further ado, let's go into the video. So first thing I'll do, press new file, and then for width go to pixels, change width to 1200, and for the height go for 1500 with a resolution of 200 pixels centimeter. So then press create. So first thing I'll do, go to my files and drag in my render. So I've got this Erling Haaland Man City render. Size it up by pressing Ctrl T and then obviously using these toggles to size them up. If I position them about there and press the tick, then we'll all be ready to go. So with the layers selected, go to filter, camera raw filter. First thing we'll do is make use of the curves. So press on curve, make sure it's selected on point curve. So with the top right curve, we're going to drag that over to the left to about there. With the bottom left one, we'll drag it over to the right to about there. So now press onto effects, turn up the clarity, I'll go for about 29, and then turn up the texture to about 36. So now go to detail, I'll turn up the sharpening by about 24 or 26. Then press on light, increase the contrast by about +12, turn up the highlights by about +6, then decrease the shadows by about -10. So now press OK. So with the layer still selected, go to image, adjustments, shadows, highlights, turn up the shadows by about 12, and turn up the highlights by about 5. So now press OK. So you can already see a visible change in the render there, but we're not done quite yet. So what I'm going to do next is add an adjustment layer, this button here, hue saturation. Right click on the hue saturation layer, create a clipper mask. So scroll down, then press on colorize. So turn the saturation all the way up and adjust the hue to about 15. So this is adding a sort of goldish colour. So with the layer mask selected, this white rectangle, Ctrl I on your keyboard and zoom in. So what I'm going to do now is press B, open the brush tool, right click, soft round, make sure your foreground colour is white. So we're just going to brush over the skin. So in this render there aren't any arms in it, but obviously if you've got a full body render, make sure you brush over the arms and the legs as well as the face. So once I've brushed over, I'm going to press X to make black the foreground colour. Remove this from the hair, because you don't want to affect the hair with this hue saturation layer. So once you've done that, with the hue saturation layer selected, on the opacity we want to turn it up by about 15. This will definitely vary depending upon your render. Some of them will already be quite, red skin, depends on the lighting and the setting. But for this one, as you can see initially, it wasn't really that red at all, like that. So I've gone for opacity 15. So next thing I'll do, adjustment layer once again, press on curves, right click, clipper mask, press into this square you got here, turn it up to about there. So with the layer mask selected, once again, Ctrl I to invert the mask, zoom in on the eyes, make sure you zoom in nice, there. So right click, press B to open your brush tool, right click, press on hard round brush, make sure that your foreground colour is white. So what I'm going to do now, if I put the brush size to about 12, just brush over the eye there. You don't have to be too perfect and detailed with it, you don't have to be too precise, but obviously you want to make sure that you are making it look good. The teeth aren't really showing in this, but if your render has teeth, I'd recommend adding this to the teeth as well. So what I'm going to do now is add another adjustment layer, hue saturation, right click, clip a mask, where it says saturation here, turn it all the way down, and where you got your curves layer, press on the mask, this black rectangle here, hold Alt on your keyboard, press on it and drag it up to this hue saturation layer, hue saturation mask, like that. So instead of having to do the mask over again, it's automatically copied it. But now what we're going to do is with the hue saturation layer mask selected, right click, make sure it's on hard round, turn the foreground colour to black, and we're just going to remove it from here, because we don't want to black and white the coloured part of the eye. You want to keep the colour there. So if I zoom back out, you can see the change in the eyes. Before it wasn't really anything because it was too dark, but now we've brought the eyes to life. If I turn the curves up a little bit more to about there, it should be all ready. So the next thing I'm going to add is a new layer. Right click, create clip and mask, go to edit, fill, contents, make sure it's on 50% grey, mode normal, opacity 100%, press OK. So it should basically grey out the player like this, but with the new layer selected, press on normal and change it to overlay. So with the layer still selected, you got your tools over here, should see some magnifying glass or a hand. Make sure you press on burn tool, so right click on it, burn tool, right click and then press soft round. So zoom in a little bit on the face, turn the size to about 80. So we're just going to brush in the darker parts of the player, so any shadows which are black bits or darker shades of the player, we just want to use this to brush them in. Obviously you can be a little bit more precise, and I would be more precise as well, but obviously for the sake of the tutorial I'll just do it generally. So that's all the shadows covered. So right click on that tool in the toolbar, dodge tool. So this time we're actually going to brush over the lighter parts. So the white parts, the white shades of the render, we'll just brush over them. So the point of this is basically increasing the sort of difference between the lighter parts of the player and the darker parts of the player, adding more contrast. So once you've brushed over the lighter parts, zoom back out. So it looks a little bit too harsh for me, maybe some of you will like that look, but with the layer selected, if I go to opacity, I'll put it to around 65, so you can see the difference there. So the next thing I'll do, add an adjustment layer once again, colour lookup, right click, create clip and mask, press on load 3D LUT, and then go to free strip look. So with the new colour lookup selected in the layers tab, where it says normal on blend modes, change that to light done. If I change opacity to about 64, there you go. So just like that, we've retouched the render in Adobe Photoshop. You can obviously apply all of these steps to any render that you get in Photoshop, but it's obviously important to remember that all of this is subjective. It's not like these specific settings and opacities are going to work for every render. Some of them will need a lot of retouching, they'll need a lot of clarity, texture, saturation, curves, etc. But some of them won't need much, if not any at all. So just important to take into account that you should adjust all of the opacities and everything to your liking, and obviously depending upon the render they've got, because of the different lighting and settings. So yeah, if you found the video helpful, please subscribe to the channel, drop a like, hit the notification bell to get notified when I put new tutorials out, and also feel free to comment your thoughts on the video. If there's any issues you encountered, I'll try and help you out as soon as possible. So I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.